else in the game. So it's definitely a nice like change of pace if you're using Skarlet as a
What's up, ladies and gents? It's your boy Lou Streets, and I'm excited to bring to you another episode of Kombat Queens. For today's guest, we have an amazing personality with Molly B. She's a well-known MK11 content creator who also does commentary on the competitive scene. We had some awesome matches with an even more awesome conversation, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. But like, that's the only thing. Like, because all the women characters are strong, but it's like, damn, like they're fan favorites, so naturally, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely, and you know, a lot of the time, women, we like playing the girl characters.
I don't blame you
for whatever reason, we just enjoy it.
No, I definitely don't blame you
okay.
with it. But I've been meaning to get around to
So you played Vanity and Bay, and you were gonna play Losty. Did you play her yet?
Nah, I haven't. The time difference has like made it a little tricky for us, but we're talking about doing it.
Oh yeah.
I played Dream Ep.4 also, and her Sonya was crazy.
Oh yeah, her Sonya is definitely very strong.
But it's dope because of the fact that I hate when that command grab doesn't come out. But the thing that's dope about it is just like seeing all the different play styles. Because like people may play the same character, but they'll play them like very differently. And that's the thing that's like super exciting.
Oh, definitely.
Especially like customs now too, you know.
Well, and that's like I know, because Baylina and Dream FPs had done a Sonya first to 10 mirror match at one point, and they definitely have very different styles.
Yeah, it was super different playing Dream. She plays different than any other person I know. Any other Sonya I know, anyway. I didn't press that. I didn't think I pressed that. Whoa! That is insane. That made me jump on that.
Oh.
Do you feel like when you play Mortal Kombat that you get like a lot of unintentional inputs? Like all the time?
I definitely do. Especially like with the interactables and the environmental stuff.
Yeah, like all the time. I don't know if I mentioned that, but you're gonna do Mercy like every single round, regardless of the situation. Just because it makes for like, you know, greater suspense.
Oh, right.
So anyway, you commentate also though, right?
Yes.
How did you get into that?
Sorry, go ahead.
I said, how did you get into that?
I actually started because I don't know if you remember, this is kind of a while ago, but Lumia, who is a lady who's been in the Mortal Kombat and NRS scene for a long time, like in previous games, she had a series on Twitch that was called Babality, that was basically just all about highlighting women in the community, and we'd have a casual Koth just to play every week. And she would always be commentating. So she asked if any of us would be interested in trying, and I was like, yeah, I can try, why not, I'll give it a try. And I did, and I actually loved it, and I just started actually being more interested in commentating than even playing. So
I feel you on that. Like I did like I usually like always do my streams, but I don't know if you're familiar with Nerf Rossi on Facebook Gaming. I know like a lot of people play Twitch. I think he's on Twitch also, but one day he asked me to help out one of the things that he do, and it was my first time commentating, and I was like, yo, this is like really legit fun. And it was like, it makes you realize how much you actually know about the game just saying things out loud, trying to call them out, even if it's like, you know, button combinations and things of that nature. But it's also a lot tougher than I think people realize, because they think it's like just about knowing the game, but I think it's more so about just like being entertaining and like being able to keep things going when stuff slows down.
Yeah, I definitely agree. You know, you'll get a lot of the time where you'll have just periods during events when things won't work, and you'll just be waiting on people, and you just have to be able to somehow keep things going and entertain.
It's funny because
and that can be a lot tougher than I think people realize.
I just read some on Twitter about that exact same thing. Like they were talking about that people think that like commentating is more so about the knowledge of the game, and it's not. They were saying the broadcasts pretty much never go as planned. So that's really like the talent of commentating, is that being able to like kind of map things out, because of the fact that like you got to keep it entertaining when like something happens, somebody being late to an interview, a player not showing up for their slot, and things like that. And I was like, I never thought about that before. I thought it was like mostly about the game, but it makes total sense.
Especially with the online tournaments lately, there's always something that is going wrong, whether it's a server issue or, like you said, people are not showing up. you have to find a way to kind of keep things going. And if you're sometimes your co-commentator, if you don't know each other very well, then it can be weird because you have to figure out how to navigate each other's habits with commentary, and it's much more complicated than I think people would realize.
Yeah, it makes total sense. Because I will say, like, he had me on twice, like, in regards to Rossi. And, like, the first time I kind of was like, it was awkward trying not to step on his toes while, like, at the same time talking about the game, you know? But then, like, the second time we did it, it was much more fun.
Exactly.
The second time we did it, it was much more fun. I felt much more comfortable. Let's say I thought I did it already. Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where sometimes you have somebody and you just have automatic chemistry with them commentating no matter what, but most of the time you have to get used to each other. So it does make sense to me, you know, after doing it once you would have a better time after that.
Oh, I totally thought I ducked that. I want to check her out soon. I don't think I've ever played her. I don't think I've picked her up to this day, and she looks fun. Yeah, I've been kind of going through this thing where
Skarlet, she's...
Yeah.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, you good. Like, no, I was about to hear your tech on her because of the fact I've never played her, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, well, I personally find her to be a lot of fun. She has a lot of weaknesses.
Yeah.
So
blockable gaps.
It's definitely kind of a struggle, but
Why would I do that?
if you put in the work on her, she can just be really enjoyable to play. She's very different in style from, I feel like, anybody else in the game. So it's definitely a nice, like, change of pace if you're using Skarlet as opposed to somebody else.
Nice. Yeah, I might have to check her out soon. Cause like I pretty much try to cycle against like around a different character like every week or so, but I just never got a chance to touch her. Nice. Yeah, I think I've played her like I think I tried to play her like early on, but I wasn't as good at the game then as I am now. So it's like she just didn't like compute to me in my mind.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely understand, and especially when you're like newer to the game, you want to just stick with a couple usually. But then now it's so far out, you know. It's time. We've got plenty of time now to learn all these different new characters we didn't try out before. Like I want to learn to play Sonya or maybe Jackie.
Jackie's really fun. I think she was the last person I picked up. I think she was, because I'm about to move to Collector, but she's the last person I picked up, and she was super fun. She got crazy damage depending on the variation you put together. If you put Hyper Knee in the mix, and then like you have her grapple stuff, she can easily get like multiple 60% combos between her Fatal Blow setup and between like her Hyper Knee setup. You can get 50% like no problem. Like no problem whatsoever. But yeah, I definitely want to check Skarlet out soon. I want to find like an impressive variation. I think like when I first picked her up, I was trying to like make her somebody she wasn't. I tried to make her like a rush down player, and it wasn't happening. But maybe
yeah, you can definitely like find a way to make her more rush down, but it's a struggle. Like they definitely don't intend for her to be rushed down, which is of course why she has all these flawless block gaps.
Yeah, true. I definitely can tell because of the fact, like, even when I was using her, but I was trying to get in, like, where her flawless blockable gaps. I didn't realize, like, that 3-step range is, like, her bread and butter, pretty much. So now that I understand that more, it might be a little bit, like, it might be easier. Like, because I've been playing Collector trying to make things make sense, and he feels so awkward to me. I've been taking so many losses trying to, like, map him out. Ooh.
Yeah, Collector is one character he's also seems like he's not really similar to anybody else in the game, which is cool, but it also means that, like, if you've been playing, you know, characters like Liu or
exactly.
like some of the more common Mortal Kombat archetypes, then it's going to be kind of weird if you try to transition to him. Yeah, and I think Skarlet is that way too.
That's how it's felt the whole time. That's definitely how it's felt the whole time. That's definitely how it's felt the whole time. Because, like, I was playing somebody earlier today, and, like, the thing that happens, like, they'll just rush me down because I'm still thinking of his buttons and trying to figure out what connects. Like, they'll just oppress me in a way I'm not used to, and it, like, bothers me so much. Totally bothers me, like, so much. To the point where, like, I'll get frustrated and pick Liu back up, but it's like, you know how it is when you're picking up a new character. Like, you have to take those losses so it can become instinctive. And I'll have a flash in the game
yeah.
where it's like, okay, I remember practicing this, but then like other times my brain will just like freeze and it'll be like scrambling for a punish.
One of those characters where she's ridiculously annoying to play against, and I 100% understand anyone hating her, but she's a lot of fun.
Nah, she's cool. She's cool. It just, oh, I can get in and let that hit. D2 and the D2. That's hilarious. I always think it's hilarious because I know exactly what you mean. Because I had like triple order combos initially. I always get hit by that string. I don't know why. It's like my brain can't ever remember that, hey, like duck down after it whiffs the first one. I always stand back up.
Whoop. Ah!
Yeah, it's like a lot of people don't play like nunchuck Lou, and that's what I come to find. Like when I play against like Lou players, they don't really like understand this, and I'm surprised that most people don't use nunchuck stands because I love it for that exact reason. Like giving Lou mix is crazy.
Yeah, I don't see them much at all, but like you said, it seems like it's something that could be very useful, especially since most people don't know how to handle it.
Yeah, because it's like Lou got some of the best mids on the game. So imagine if you got a command grab and you can't block in front of him. Like things like really change. A lot of people always get Dragon Fire because they want the damage buff, which makes sense, but ooh, oh my gosh, I'm surprised I didn't punish. It actually caught me off guard. I didn't get hit by it. Ooh, I don't know why I thought she did something different than that. Ooh, nice jump kick. Totally thought you were gonna do nitro on that. I was really surprised they didn't let the anti-air that. D2 into D2. That is like probably one of the funniest variation names I've ever seen for her. I swear I blocked that. I don't know why I was like trying to micro duck that. Like you can't get under that. That's what makes her like so crazy. I don't know why I always tried. We're trying to big brain everything. That was a terrible decision.
Well, gotta try something.
Definitely. When in doubt, mash it out. It's the only way.
That's the Jade way.
Facts. Was that a parry? Or am I tripping? Nice.
Jade? Jade?
Yeah, I thought I saw a parry come out.
Nah.
I'm really surprised they let me low pro that.
Woo! Shit.
Oh my gosh, Jade is so tricky. Do you only run one variation of her, or do you like run like other things too? Because I saw you had Delia's dance, but like I know, what is that one called? Like the pole vault. That one is actually pretty fun too. Did I do it already? I did already.
Yep. Yeah, I usually now, if I use her, I just use Delia's and the Airglaive and then the low spark. But like, just my playstyle in general, maybe it's because I like characters like Skarlet. It's just I prefer more keep away.
Yeah, I feel you.
So the pole vault, can be useful, but it also just gets me into trouble because
like
it gets me into that's not my playstyle.
Like good from distance. I feel you. See, I think that's why it took me a minute to like get into like zoning characters. Like when I picked up her or like RoboCop, because I'm just used to fighting people's faces. That's where I like to be. Oh wow. Oh. Oh, I didn't mean to block it. I tried to let go of block. That's why it was a flawless block. I hate when that happens on accident. Oh, I can't see that. Oh, I just knew you was gonna go into Fatal. I thought I was gonna die from that. Oh my gosh. J. I might need to make another video of her. Like, I miss her. Honestly. Like, from playing all you guys who love her, it makes me miss her a little bit. Only thing is I don't got like no cool,
Yeah,
like,
Jade is a lot of fun.
So besides like the commentary, like how did you get into like, are you just into fighting games in general, or is it just more of an MK thing?
Well, I would say MK is the fighting game that I'm into the most, or that I always have been, but I've played fighting games ever since I was a little kid. I just mostly got into, I guess, the scene with MK, and that was starting back with MKX more. But growing up, I played pretty much every Mortal Kombat game that came out. I played all Street Fighter games, played some Tekken, and now I still mostly focus on MK, but I play a lot of other games as well. I actually haven't been playing MK for about the past month and a half because I've been playing mostly Guilty Gear Strive.
Man, that game is so hard to get good at.
It is, and I'm like, but now I'm trying to play MK and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so out of practice. But Strive is a lot of fun though.
Did I do it already?
Yep.
I did it. Okay, that's 4-1. No, the funny thing is like, so I've been playing Strive. I've only been playing Chip so far. I haven't used any other character. Like, I feel like I'll play one day and I'll feel like I have my execution pretty solid, and then the next day like I'll keep getting like DP on accident and it gets me punished, and it's like it's frustrating because I just don't understand. And it's one of those things where it's like, you know, when you watch everybody else be good at something and you're like, okay, why am I not catching on? I actually just made a tweet about that like 45 minutes ago because I was watching somebody else do something saucy with Soul, and I was like, yo, the learning curve for this game is so hard for me. And it's funny because I'm good at Dragon Ball Fighters. Like, I'm really good at Dragon Ball Fighters. In fact, that was the game that made me want to make content. And everybody's like, it's translatable, but I'm like, it doesn't feel like it because I'm like, I don't struggle with it. I'm on floor 10F, but I don't feel like I'm ever going to be as good as I want to be at that game in regards to like Mortal Kombat. Like, I know I'm a pretty strong Mortal Kombat player. I don't feel like I'm ever going to get there with Strive. Now, granted, it's unfair to say because I've been playing Mortal Kombat for like, what, 2 years, and Strive for what, like a month? But I'm like, as a person who plays fighting games all the time, like, why am I having so much trouble catching on when I'm seeing everybody else like do insane combos all the time? Yeah, it's funny that you said that. I'm gonna actually go practice that today because I've been trying to figure that one out, and it's been tricky.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, for me, I don't know. I felt like it's almost been the opposite with playing Strive. Like, I felt like I've had an easier time getting into it than I had with Mortal Kombat 11. And I don't know if it's just because the past year or so I've been trying out like a ton of different fighting games. So like I've been playing a good amount of Killer Instinct and some Street Fighter 5. You know, a lot of games where I guess I would say they feel more similar than MK. It just seems to me like NRS games are kind of unique in fighting games in a way that pretty much none others are. Like, anime games are their own sort of thing, I know, but I feel like there's more similarities with them and games like Street Fighter or Killer Instinct than there is with MK.
Yeah, it does feel unique. I mean, even as far as I'm concerned, like, to me, this is the most beautiful fighting game I've ever seen. Like, it just looks really super cool. That's what I love about it. Because, like, it took me a minute to kind of get into the whole anime fighting thing, like, as far as, like, games not having the most sophisticated graphics like this one does. I've always been, like, somewhat of a graphics snob. Right. But, yeah, like, I do enjoy Strive. I do enjoy it. I definitely enjoy it. I just wish I could get good at it as fast. Like, Dragon Ball FighterZ got me into it, but the game was so cool that it got me into the show. Like, I was never really like a Dragon Ball fan. The show actually made me like get into the game. I swore I was gonna be able to cover that distance. But yeah, like when it comes to Guilty Gear, it's like it hasn't been a struggle, but I'm just like, oh, this is gonna take me a long time to like make cool videos.
Oh yeah, no, I can definitely see that. Especially because that's the one thing for me about it is that I know a lot of people that are making content with Strive or that they want to start doing commentary are people that have been involved in the anime community for a while and played previous Guilty Gears, so they definitely had kind of a running start into it that like myself and a lot of the other people on my team in particular, like we feel like we're kind of out there trying to figure out what the hell to do.
Who do you play? Like, who have you trying to pick up to main?
Currently I'm using Ram and Giovanna.
Gio is crazy. She's such a, like, people got like the jokes about who's the gorillas of the game, and I don't think she is one, but she's tough. And I think for me, because I feel like I don't understand the core mechanics of the game, I haven't used anybody except Chip. So maybe like I've been trying to stick to that because I want to understand the game in itself. But yeah, it definitely is a certain handful of characters that are like super duper nice. And I'm wondering like if I should pick them up first and I'll understand the game better because of it. I have been thinking that.
Yeah, there's a couple other characters I want to play in that game too, and I'm kind of also at a similar point where I'm like, what is the best option here to just maybe try to pick one of them and stick with them and try to learn the game mechanics that way, or do I think that I would learn more about the game as a whole if I just tried out all these different characters? Because, you know, it definitely is easier if you know a character to then turn around and play against them because you know their weaknesses a lot more. So.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know. It's always a different learning process with each fighting game, and I know people have different approaches.
Do you feel like you struggle with the execution on it, at least? Or do you feel like the execution kind of comes to you semi-naturally?
Honestly, I feel like the execution in Strive comes to me a lot more naturally than the execution in MK games. And I don't know what it is, if it's the strings or what, but playing Strive, playing Killer Instinct, games like that, I feel like execution is not really a huge issue. Whereas with this, I definitely have more issues with inputs where if I stop playing it for like a couple weeks and I come back, my timing is all off and all that sort of thing. So I don't know. I don't know why that's the case, especially since MK is the franchise I've played the most, but it is.
That's how I felt the other day playing Strive, because I tried to make some YouTube videos for it, and it was like I was dropping everything, and I said, I've only taken 3 days off because of the Combat Queen series, and like, I suck now, like in 3 days, like, so I don't know, like I'm gonna have to play it some more because I want to make more videos of it, because I got like 200 videos of Mortal Kombat on my channel, but when it comes to Strive, it's a whole different story. But I definitely appreciate the sets. I definitely appreciate you participating. Do you want to drop the socials? And I'll also make sure that I'll put them in the comments, but you want to drop your socials to the audience just so they can make sure they know where to check you out. All right, ladies and gents, so that is going to do it for this episode. If you guys enjoyed the video, please hit the like button for me, and of course hit subscribe. I want to give a huge shout out to Molly B for participating. The conversation was amazing, and it's very obviously she's an incredible MK11 commentator, and you can see why. If you guys want to check out her socials, I'll pin them in the top comment. Until the next time, it's your boy Blue Streets. I am out. Peace. Oh, you actually checked it.
Oh.
I didn't have no bar available.